The blood has spilled onto our hands. The drugs they drip coursing through our veins. Violence, violence, show your face. Show me we're all the same. Violence, beautiful violence, break my faith. It was broken anyway. Come where they fuck us for the rest of our lives. Well, I told you all once, well, I told you all twice, that this is the start of our demise. 1, 2!
What's good, everybody? Audio's working again. This is like the fourth day in a row. How's everybody doing? Hopefully, you aren't shorting right now. That would be stupid. I tried to put a tweet out that was saying shorting breakouts, not the best idea. Although, it's been 2 days really since I've live streamed and we had quite a bit of a breakout. We did validate a double bottom here. Unfortunately, I did not long down here. Although I should have. My gut was telling me to, and I didn't listen again. Just because CPI was horrible, horrific. Also, I saw this price action, and I wasn't really a fan. But, you live and learn. It's all about adapting. But I did get in longs at about 21.7, 22.4, and then 23K. Took profits on most at like 23.5, 23.6. So for now, I'm just kind of scalping the rest of this upward move if it continues upward. Not really looking to hold a swing position, especially when the 4 hour is starting to make divergences. We just had Tesla sell today, or not sell today. They sold at 28K, I believe. But guys, for those of you thinking that a market crash is coming, Tesla sold up here. Okay, so people think that because this news just came out, the market's going to crash. And, it might. It still can. I don't want to, put anything in absolutes right now, but Tesla sold up here. That's what caused this large cascading move to the downside. And ultimately, I always tell my students, news-based events are very short-lived. News-based pumps, news-based dumps, they're always short-lived. And for the last, couple of days, we saw CPI was entirely one of the most bearish pieces of information we could have gotten. And we just pumped, I believe, like 30% from the bottom. Yeah, about 30%. So we're clearly seeing now that news-based events are very short-lived and moving forward, kind of need to stay away from them. We can't, trading news is never good because the market's always got it priced in already. But how's it going, Marie? How you doing? Zap, what's good? Ark, what's up, man? Morning, Kua. I think your name is, Kaya Kua. Thirsty Crow, what's good? Remember to drink water. Thanks, Steve. I've got my water. If I don't knock my mic over, I got my water right here, man. Always need water. It's hot as shit outside, so water's definitely the move. So my headphone is actually broken. I dropped it today, and I need to buy a new one. So if my headphone looks off, I actually dropped it on the floor, and it just completely broke, and I had to tape it like 5 minutes ago. This headset's like 5 years old. I need to buy a new one. Everything's so expensive, and apparently I'm so poor that I can't afford furniture for my basement. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford a headset. Anyways, guys, let's get into stocks, get into everything. So, what's going on? For me, this looks like a bear market relief rally. This is not the type of structure that really signals a bottom, in my opinion. I don't really think this is the bottom. And to be honest, we could continue this rally all the way to 33.5 on the Dow. I do think part of me, not all of me, but part of me thinks the worst of inflation is either here or coming soon. We know that rate hikes are coming. We know that earnings reports for companies are coming, which will have a cascading effect, which will, in my opinion, give us one more leg down. I think one more leg down, and that's most likely the bottom, most likely the end. If we just do a quick percentage, I mean, that'd be a 30% drop. That's pretty significant. I would have liked 50% or higher, but ultimately I do think there will be one more leg down, or at least a retest of the lows. However, as soon as either one of those scenarios happens, I am 100% going to DCA. So whether that means Bitcoin goes to bottoms at 17, 13, 6K, 3K, I will begin my DCA. Part of me just doesn't see any reason to short something that's already down 70%. Obviously, it can drop another 70% from here. But if Bitcoin is going to be an asset that people use in the future and continues to really pronounce its value and continue doing anything, ultimately, we don't want to see it crash another 70% from here. That would not be good. That would be something like Luna, where it literally is just a Ponzi scheme and has been, and has no use case. What's up, Marlon? How you doing? Had to do with my Sony Gold headset when I had my PS4. Yeah, dude, I hate it. This is a Razer Man of War. It was like a $250 headset when I originally bought it, and served me really well. Really enjoyed it, and I think I'm gonna go to. I had a headset pulled up earlier. It's about the same price. I think I'm gonna get it, but unfortunately, it won't be here probably until I get back from my next trip. But yeah, Dow, I mean, honestly, this is a relief rally, just like we've seen in the past. Where's the top? I don't really know. So if you're looking to short, honestly, I wouldn't really look to short. Look for DCA opportunities at this point. Next thing I will say, I saw data today that dark pools, which is basically like large stock market whales, aren't buying, they're actually selling. So again, this kind of backs my theory that we most likely will have another leg down or at least retest the lows. That would make the most sense to me. S&P, same thing. We actually broke above resistance here, above diagonal resistance. I think retesting one of these weekly moving averages is in play. Again, all the way up to 42, 4100, maybe even 4000. Very much in play here. But for now, just a relief rally. This doesn't surprise me, as it shouldn't surprise anybody. NASDAQ, same thing. Although we have not broken major resistance yet, or at least not on my chart. Again, 12.5, 12.6, 12.7 could get retested before lower lows. I know Tesla earnings are in about 20 minutes, so I guess we'll see, unless they just happened. If someone could let me know, that'd be great. But for now, just a relief rally. This is not, guys. People want to tell you that there's some kind of like melt up happening, and I don't see that happening without some kind of retest of lows, some kind of bottoming structure. Excuse me. And backing that, the VIX has not even gotten over 44. For those of you who don't know, every time we've had a recession or recessive time period with the VIX, we've gotten over the 50-ish or 45-ish level. Here in 2018, we had a very short-term recession. Obviously, 2020, we had the COVID crash, and then obviously 2008. Unfortunately, this data does not stretch too far, but the 2000s as well. We had that tech bubble, and here it is over 45. So we have not gotten over 45 yet. Again, it doesn't necessarily have to, but it's been a guide in prior recessions. So I think DCA is the best thing right now. I mean, DCAing is always the best thing for any asset. ECB hike tomorrow, plus gas pipeline from Russia to Germany, either closing or opening again. Could be a big day. Could be a big day. Like I said, I am not holding positions right now. I sold my positions at like 23.6. So for now, I'm just waiting for scalp opportunities or some kind of support retest to put another position in. To be honest, I missed the double bottom move. I really didn't think we were going to pump off CPI. For everybody, including myself, trading in this macro environment is completely new, and we have no prior data with crypto and how it relates to recession. So for me, I was like, oh, we're definitely going to dump, and then I just stopped watching a chart all day. Horrible mistake. I could have longed even later that day, but I didn't. I still didn't really like the price action, but hey, you live and learn. The XY, now this is where things get interesting. People have said that this is topped out, and I disagree. I still believe this is in a very much a bullish standpoint. Structure has not broken. We have not broken back below support either. We really haven't even retested our 105 support after breaking it. So honestly, probably going to retest it and then continue up or continue sideways and go up. Either scenario, very likely. We know that in order for inflation to come down, in order for the federal government to promote the dollar, or Federal Reserve to promote the dollar, we need the DXY to go up. So technically it's bullish, and fundamentally it is bullish. We've been saying this for months. I don't see this thing topping. I don't see a topping pattern, topping structure. Nothing really looks like it's failing at the moment. We can see here, and let's even do a little bit of analysis. Other than this ginormous parabolic rise here in the 70s and 80s, it looks like in the 2000s we had multiple touches at a resistance level at about 120. So we'll actually mark that. Mark that here. 120 seems like resistance. 110 is resistance. So it looks like we really hit resistance even here, double top. Although it ended up being a bottoming structure, it still sent us down about 10 points. It's huge. I think that's actually like 20%, close to 20%. So for me, for anyone to say that this is, even here, you have multiple touches. Yes, we have deviation here, then go back down. This is not a topping structure yet. I would expect this to come down, retest support, and either begin forming a topping structure here where we fail like this, or we break out, maybe come back down, make a double top like this, validate it on this, and then that would really signal a lot of bullishness for crypto and stocks. But for now, I mean, this is not a topping structure. This is not something that's even looked remotely topped. Total. I removed my resistance line last time. I think I'm going to move this one down. This chart's very hard to chart. There's a lot of wicks. There's a lot of wicks through support, a lot of uneasiness because this is Bitcoin, Ethereum, and altcoins, which we know a lot of altcoins do whatever they want. Ethereum can essentially carry the whole market on its back. And we know Bitcoin is mostly our guide, but for now, we'll leave resistance here. This would line up with a 26 to 28K touch with Bitcoin, as well as a 1700 touch on Ethereum. But other than that, I mean, it looks like, we're just getting a prior support retest. We have a breakdown here and a retest. Ultimately, we had a huge breakout, retest, and then continuation, although I don't know if I completely consider this a breakout and retest, but we did retest this area. So for me, this area here, most likely going to get retested before we have our next leg down or possible leg down. Total 2, same kind of thing. We've actually already retested resistance here or prior support, and that's mostly because Ethereum pumped like crazy. So for now, more than likely we could continue up and retest 700 billion as well. Total 3, again, kind of hit that area of resistance, retested it. I wouldn't be shocked if we hit 460 to 500 billion. USTT.D actually lost our diagonal support. Ultimately, this is very, very bullish for crypto, whether it's short or long term. Ultimately, I'd like to see this bounce back up, maybe make a double top before heading lower. I really thought this was going to go until 16, 17%. Still can. I mean, we could very well see a bounce off this and continual rise. But for now, crypto is very bullish based off this. Even looking at the daily, we lost our area of demand here right when Bitcoin broke out, and this was another sign to long. Guys, if you want your simple questions answered, Google is a great resource. So is the bottom in or no? That's up to you, man. Anyone who's calling the bottom's in, and I made my stream title this. Partial for clickbait, partial because I wanted to say this. Anyone who's saying that the bottom's in is a complete jackass. Anyone who says the top is ever in, again, complete idiot. It is nearly impossible. I'm pretty sure you have better odds winning the lottery than calling a bottom or calling a top. So get the bottom's in, the bottom's not in, out of your mind. Either start DCAing now or start buying now and forget about it, or move on. Because this whole idea that the bottom is in, you guys have no idea if there's going to be a war tomorrow, if rate hikes are going to be 200 points when they come up, if inflation is going to continue going higher. You have no idea. None of you have any idea. I don't have any idea. So this notion that people are saying the bottom's in, this is in, that's in, the bottom's not in, throw those people away. Because one, they can't adapt in a market. Two, they're not really making money trading. because in order to make money trading, you need to adapt, you need to move quick, you need to not carry biases, which, yes, I've had a macro bearish bias, and I still do, because I don't think structure has changed yet. But in order for me, like, to say like that the bottom's in, that's stupid. That's entirely stupid. Or to even say it's not in is stupid, because it could be in right now. Ultimately, I have my convictions and I haven't DCA'd yet, but I'm sticking to my plan. Yeah, Crypto Mike, tell him to look on Google. You're legit. We should grab a beer someday. Depends where you live, man. I'm in the U.S. and I'm not really planning to go outside the U.S. Look at this. Bitcoin's pumping. And this is another thing. Why are people shorting in demand? I opened my stream saying, why on earth are you people shorting demand? Like, look at this. People were literally shorting this. The Tesla news. Look at this. This is where people shorted. You were shorting here. Why on earth? I longed. I literally longed that. Okay, I longed with a tight stop loss. Why is anyone shorting a demand zone? When you break it, it becomes demand. It gets retested for continuation. Why on earth were people shorting that? It doesn't. Tesla already sold their Bitcoin. This was a chance for you to long, and you fell for it again. Fell for the trap. Tesla already sold their shit. You should have longed. I just, it's shocking to me that people still don't get it. Attic is being more used since lots of projects are migrating to their chain. I mean, maybe projects are migrating over, but that doesn't mean Matic's being used. Until like crypto really has a use case in the world, I think Link is really the only one that does, with all of the weather information it does. But for now, I'm. But yeah, guys, I mean, I didn't like, some of my students were like, I'm gonna short this. I'm like, why? Why are you shorting a demand touch? Why? Because there's some bearish news? Like, this is a trap event, man. Like, stop shorting news-based events. That's stupid. Especially when they're retesting demand. But all right, let's get into Bitcoin's daily and weekly. So I had came out with a tweet, and honestly, I'm still shocked by this. We are back above the 200 weekly. In my opinion, I want to throw away this moving average, and it really doesn't mean anything to me anymore, because the fact that we've closed below it with such huge volume, like we closed below it, spent a couple weeks under it, retested it, and then broke back above, with, again, you look at some of these other exchanges, and this volume is disgustingly low. Other than Binance, it is disgustingly low. So for me, low volume across the board. How on earth do you do something like that? But again, this is crypto. You can't rely on one indicator or anything like that. But yeah, we are back above the 200 weekly. And I wouldn't say that this is back to a bull market, but this kind of conviction for me, I don't know. I mean, originally when I thought we lost it, we wouldn't regain it so quickly. I'm kind of amazed by that. I'm not like freaking out or anything. I mean, there was always that possibility, but it is quite amazing that this was just broken with such a low volume. To me, when something is broken with low volume, and again, yeah, yes, Binance has a lot of volume, but all the other exchanges don't. When that is broken with low volume, it's really not an area of resistance. How did lots of alts die in previous bears? Like, they didn't just fizzle, or is there big news, or so the coin died? Oh, well, most altcoins don't have any use case, and they're entirely used for like liquidating positions or selling positions. Like, whales will sell their Bitcoin to like ADA, pump the price out of ADA, and suck in more profits. That's essentially how that works. But let's look at the daily. So another moving average I wanted to note, and again, another reason why you should have longed today. We broke above the 50 DMA. We retested it to the dollar. To the dollar. I think we went slightly, very, very slightly below it. I mean, the 50's at 22,967, and we were all the way down to 22,917. This was yet again another area you should have at least looked for a small long position. I'm not saying throw in your whole account. I'm not saying, you know, this, that, or the other thing. But if we're talking about bullish structure, you have breakout, retest, continuation. Okay? We have volume validating this breakout on the daily. However, other exchanges still showing pretty low volume, but honestly, higher volume relative to the last 20 candles. So yes, in my opinion, it still validates it. So even, yes, on other exchanges, very high volume. So I'm kind of shocked that people are still looking for shorts. And again, yes, I was bearish up until 2 days ago. I really didn't think this range was going to break out, and it did. And what you have to do moving forward is adapt, right? Like, you can't just sit here and be bearish the entire time while this market goes up, or else you're going to end up like that crypto whale guy on Twitter and not end up buying in the bull market. Now, do I think that this is the bull market? Like, no. No, I'm still macro bearish. But this was a very easy bear market rally. Although, let's say you didn't long in here. You could have longed this. You could have longed this retest. You could have longed this breakout. And ultimately, putting your stop below 22.5, these two orders would have averaged you out. And this one, you probably would have been in slight profit. And now you can just let this position ride. If it dumps through 22.5, then we know that the move was fake and we're going to continue lower. You break even or you take your small profit and move forward. But if we go to 28K from your original buy, which would have been, on this breakout, you're talking about almost a 30% gain on that trade. So again, it's time for a lot of people in this market to stop looking at biases and start adapting to what's actually happening in the chart. My 18K bottom target was awesome. Actually, it was 17K. So I will say this. If we did bottom at 17K, I think I'm the only analyst that called for it. Okay. Now, although I've kind of changed my perspective, I don't think the bottom is 17K because stocks haven't really crashed the way I'd like them to. Yes, I did call 17K as the bottom. Did I buy? No, I didn't. I really didn't think that. I don't think that this is over. I don't think it's over dumping, and I really wanted to potentially get lower. But my original analysis did say 17K. Unfortunately, the stock market wasn't quite as caught up to Bitcoin as I'd like. Yeah, we haven't closed the week yet, but it's looking very much like it's about to close over. I hope it dumps soon. I mean, I hope it does too, but this is a very, very bullish structure. I mean, you have a double bottom, you have a range breakout, a break over the 50. Now, we are in a very weird market right now, so if we did something like this, it wouldn't surprise me. We've seen it in the past. We've seen, we originally broke out of the 20, and then we dumped. We broke above the 50 here, made a double top, and dumped. What I'd like to see is some kind of bearish reversal pattern. That way I can short it. I don't really want to see something like that. But ultimately, I do think we're going sideways, something like this, right? I mean, obviously, it's not going to be perfect, but I think that this range could be a huge accumulation range for us in the future. So if you didn't get to buy at 19 or 17 or 18, you'll probably get another opportunity too. What will happen if inflation stays high for the next 5 years? No way, stocks will still go up. That's a tough question. If inflation stays as high as it is, things will get more expensive. People will lose their jobs. People will spend less money because things are so expensive. And ultimately, companies will suffer, which will make stocks go down. But again, guys, we have this crazy inflation. We don't have layoffs yet. We don't have really horrible earnings reports. And right now, our economy is still pretty strong. So it's an unfortunate reality that we have to face, but it is pretty strong. I want to see if Tesla's earnings came out. Okay, cool. What will happen if can you give us an update on the death crosses? What death crosses? The pain hasn't even started full yet, but yeah, it could also not come. I'm on the same page as you. I think that people are going to suffer and the markets will continue going lower, but there's always a chance that it won't. I do not use the Keltner channel. Tesla sold yeah, they sold their Bitcoin, but I wanted to know what their earnings report was. The stock market still fell like 70% in the 70s. So that idea that it won't, I don't agree with that. I'm actually pretty sure it fell like 50%. Let's see. Yeah, the 70s, which are right here. All of this, I believe the first one was a 40%, and the second one was a 50% downfall. So this idea that, I mean, we could be seeing something like this, like where we keep doing that, but the thing is, in the 70s we had all that inflation, all the shit that happened. That's why we ultimately dumped. But yeah, I'm not on the page that this dump is quite over, but it could be. You never know. Am I bearish on Bitcoin on a macro level? No, I think Bitcoin will eventually hit 100, 200 plus K, plus $1,000. What about Elliott Wave? I don't even bother with Elliott Waves. They're pointless and useless. That kind of data is completely useless to me. Elliott Waves are Elliott Waves can be drawn from anywhere. It's up to interpretation of the wave analytical person, I guess. I've known one person in my whole trading career, which is about 6-7 years, that's ever been remotely close to accurate with Elliott Wave. I think Elliott Waves are pretty much useless. High cycle bottom, I don't care for one indicator telling me that the bottom's in, to be honest. Damn, that Vietnam War crashed market back then. I'm pretty sure war is actually very bullish for market. Got any bets? What up, Chase? I think we're gonna play later if you want. I've got to make dinner, but I'll play after. Yeah, Credible and Tech Dev are also two idiots that were saying the bottom was in at 30 and 40K. So I would stay away from those guys. Those guys, their charts literally just look like this. It looks like this with a big dick up here, and they say Bitcoin to 100K. That's literally all they do, and they just try to get engagement because all of them have like subscription shit and affiliate status, and they're not good traders, and they make their money from all these other things, from being social media personalities, I guess. Yeah, sure, I'm affiliated with an exchange, but I also make money trading. I also make you know this whole idea that, like, if someone's been so flat out wrong, right? Like maybe they're posting analysis now that says the bottom's in because we pumped. The bottom's now in. Like, hell no, guys. Like Tech Dev and all those guys were saying that this was the bottom, or even this, that we would never see below 28K. Those guys are complete idiots. Okay, just ignore them. Stay away from them. Their analysis changes week by week. Well, I'm just chilling right now, trying to make sense of what you're saying. Dude, just Google. Use Google. But the terminology, I try to simplify it, but the terminology I use is, you'll pick it up over time. Oh, what up, Pat? You still smoking stems? Stems and oregano? Taiwan invasion next year, and the printer will start printing again. I just really don't want anybody to go to war. I'm going to be honest. I really don't want people to die and fight for things that don't even matter. Personally, I think the world's better off if we don't have any more wars. I'd really like to not see war. Yes, it'd be really good for the market, but I'd really to not like to see war. But all right, let's do some lower time frames. Let's look at the 12-hour real quick. It's 12-hour. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of this volume. It's not the best, and on other exchanges, it's really flat comparatively, which makes me believe that this move might have topped. If you look at Coinbase, and again, Coinbase isn't necessarily the best example. Volume is very, very flat, right? Like, that's not entirely bullish. That usually means our range is much higher than people think. We also hit 24.3 to the T right here, which is very, very interesting to me. But aside from that, Binance is the only one that has volume that's remotely above some of these crashes. Ignore this candle. That was a wash trading schematic led by Binance Whales. But again, another note I will say, and why I think we will come back down to some major support here. This upward move is being led by derivatives, not spot accumulation. So for those of you that don't know what that means, derivatives is basically like trading fake Bitcoin. So you don't actually own the Bitcoin. Here, I'll even put it this way. Let's say derivatives trading is like buying a car, but you don't actually own the car. You just own the rights to a car. Or I guess even like you just own the value of a car, right? Like you don't actually own the physical asset. You just own the value of it. Buying spot is like you buy the car, it's parked in your driveway, you own the whole thing. It is a full-blown asset. When someone is buying derivatives in this market, it's usually just to pump the price of whatever so that they can sell into it. If they were spot accumulation, like even over-the-counter spot accumulation, I'd be much more bullish. Like if people were actually buying the physical Bitcoin, I'd be much more bullish. On the 4-hour chart, I'll get to 4-hour in a second. Since we are, I won't say that out loud. Since we are stupid, do you think it pumped to 26, 27? Case market fall, what could be the reason? Well, the market would fall because the macro is bearish, right? Someone that wants to get into trading stocks, what should I start off with first? Get into paper trading. And I would do as much research and experimentation as you can with fake money before you get into anything real. Just because the only way you learn in trading is by losing money. I had a $10,000 account originally, and I lost like $6,000 of it before I made any money. So what I would say is take all of the money that you want to put in the market and don't put it in the market. Take it and maybe start with like a $10,000 paper trading account and trade with that. And see, you're going to lose money at first because you have no idea what you're doing. This is one of the hardest things that anyone can possibly do. But take that money and, trade with it. See if, you're going to lose at first, but see if you can make it back and become profitable, develop a system. And it's probably going to take you a year or two. And also, like, do research, watch YouTube videos. Learn what price action is, learn how to draw support and resistance, learn validation of breakouts, and learn how to detect fake outs. A lot of what I know is experience driven and doing historical research. So for me, I would highly suggest fake money first before going in with real money. Do I trade with divergence? Yes, but we don't have any divergence yet. Not on the daily or the 12-hour. All right, let's look at the 4-hour. 4-hour. One thing I do note is everyone shorted the Elon Musk news, which is kind of embarrassing because we literally went to demand. The only time you should be shorting are breakdowns. You should not be shorting in a demand zone. That is possibly one of the dumbest things you can do. When we were even down here, I told my students, wait for the breakdown, don't short in demand. And we ended up pumping, and a lot of people ended up taking losses because either they didn't listen or, whatever. Ultimately, I didn't long here. I wish I did. I wish I would have. But ultimately, this was a great long. This retest is a great long. and even some of this, if we continue to drop into here, could be another great long. Although we would break this diagonal, it doesn't necessarily. I don't really like diagonals. This could be completely wrong, this diagonal here. So I would pay attention to the horizontal support and resistance. Ultimately, all of these would be support, support, support. So if we lose this level, retest it, then yes, we are going to visit this level. If we lose this level, retest it, we will go down to this level. That's more or less how that works. Or try the casino, because essentially in the beginning you're gambling. Yeah, pretty much. Is that a double top on the 4 hour? No, that is not a double top. I don't know where you guys are learning that this is a double top. This is not a double top. No. It would have to make double tops look like M's, right? This is not a double top. There's not even divergence on the 4 hour yet. So I think it's a fake out too, back under the 200 moving average weekly close. Dude, I'd really like that. I'd really like for the 200 not to be broken with such low volume, and especially with derivatives. I'd like to see the 200 broken with spot, right? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, I know we're going to lose the 200 again. I'm, I can't say I'm 100% certain, but I'm pretty sure we will lose the 200 again. So for now, guys, I stopped looking at Bitcoin dominance just because it's really hard to determine any sort of analysis when a lot of this is driven by stable coins. So for now, we're going to remove Bitcoin dominance from our, tri-weekly analysis. But looking at Ethereum, Ethereum is near resistance, right? So ultimately, 1700 level for Ethereum resistance. I would expect at least a retest and a pullback. I'd like to see that at least. But for now, Ethereum's price action extremely bullish. Nothing in here really looks bearish. There's no divergences here. So for me, this is just more consolidation to go up. We could test all the way up to 2200. If we break this 2200 in this diagonal, Ethereum starts to look really, really bullish from here moving forward. Do I think that's going to happen? No. Do I want it to happen? No. I'm not long Ethereum. I haven't even touched Ethereum. But for now, keep an eye on 1700. This could be the head of the Head and Shoulders in formation. I don't know where you see a Head and Shoulders form. I don't see a Head and Shoulders forming at all, actually. All right, guys. I'm gonna end it here. If you are interested in the trading classes, we actually had a call yesterday where I told people to long like 22.9 and ended up taking profit at like 23.6, 23.7. So it was about a 5% gain. If you're interested in any of that, and obviously the private analysis goes with it, see the Patreon links below, or the one in my Twitter bio, or the one in the Discord bio, or Discord channel, whatever. With that said, if you guys didn't know, BitGet is running some kind of it's not like a competition. It's like a participation. It's like a participation award kind of thing where up to 100 people can win 1 Bitcoin. And all you have to do is trade with $1,000 USDT within between now and I believe the 24th. So if you're interested in a better exchange, you guys know I prefer BitGet. They're awesome. Their support team's great. They actually listen to their audience, and when they say, "Hey, can you add this?" They add it. They added trailing stop losses because all of the traders wanted trailing stop losses. And if you use my link, you get 15% off your fees. With all that said, guys, please stop fucking shorting the breakouts. Okay? I don't want to see tweets that are like, "Oh, Roman, you're bullish, the Thompson, like this, that, the other thing." Like, guys, no, this is a breakout. Stop fucking shorting it. Stop wasting your time and your money. You should be looking for long entries, or you should be shorting breakdowns. Like, I'm trying to help you here. I'm trying to post good analysis. I'm tired of seeing the replies that are like, "Hey, you were bearish 2 days ago." Yes, I was bearish because I held my convictions, because I was waiting for resistance to break. Once it broke, I flipped bullish. Trading is about adapting, not about hugging a bias and hoping for the best. So moving forward, stop shorting breakouts, wait for breakdowns, wait for pattern confirmation or pattern formation, wait for more signals. You guys are literally shorting a breakout, a bullish breakout when we broke above the 200 weekly, the 50 daily, and there's no divergences on daily RSI, and MACD starting to get in the bull zone. So again, guys, I have your best interest in mind. I'm doing my best to help you. Please stop shooting yourselves in the foot. With all that said, please be patient, use risk management.